Hi there, witches. I'm back. I know it's been a while. Whew, 2020 has been a doozy. I don't remember if I told you guys this in my last video, but we sold our condo and we bought a house and we're moving at the end of the month, which means that all of my ritual stuff is packed away and I haven't had access to it for a little while now because when we were showing our condo, I really didn't want people looking at my ritual stuff. So I had to pack it away, and it's been kind of hard. It's forced me to go back to basics, to go back to the time before I had all of these tools, and to practice from that place instead of from having all of the stuff that I'm used to having. I think the thing that I miss the most right now is my tarot cards because they're such a big part of my day-to-day life. So once I get into my new place, which will be like December 1st, I'll be able to have access to all of that stuff again and it'll be amazing. So in our new house, I am going to have a dedicated temple space. I'm really excited about that. I'm going to have an entire room to use as my temple space, and that will be wonderful because right now I have kind of like a double closet without a closet door, and that is my temple space. It has shelves above, and the altar space is like down here. But being able to have an entire room will mean that I can set up a meditation space. I can shut the door. I don't have to share a space with other stuff. So it's going to be really, really wonderful once it is all set up and ready to go. And once I move, I will for sure show you guys what is going on with my space and kind of update you with progress about how it's going because I think it's going to be really cool and I'm super, super excited about it. I will have a fenced in backyard with a privacy fence, which means I'll be able to go back to doing more magic outside and more ritual outside without people like looking at me because right now I can do those things, but I'm always concerned about who's going to walk by and interrupt what I'm doing or look at me strange because I'm outside, doing some kind of whatever. So this will be a really big improvement for me. Samhain was wonderful. I hope you had a really great Samhain if you celebrate. Most of the turns of the year this year have felt off to me, and I think COVID has played a big part of that. There's this feeling of time not moving and sort of being stuck. I know a lot of people have been dealing with that, and I'm no exception. Samhain actually felt like Samhain. The energy was amazing. I had a really great time at my ritual, and I was able to throw a lot of things into the fire that were not just things from this last year that I wanted to get rid of, but I'm talking about things that go back in time to when I was a little girl. And so some really old trauma. And you know how it is with trauma. It's like you get rid of a piece of it and it feels like there's more, and you're just peeling back the onion and trying to, okay, what is this new piece that I have to cope with? So I know that I'm not completely done getting rid of some of this old trauma, but boy, I was able to get rid of a lot. And I did a lot of work this year while we were all in quarantine. And so I had a lot to throw in the fire and a lot of like old ideas about myself, things that I know that I've been thinking about myself for pretty much my entire adult life. And I was able to release them, and I feel energized, and I feel like I was really able to let go. And that is such an amazing, powerful feeling to have. This year, my word for the year is pleasure. Every Samhain, I bring in a word that I'm going to focus on for the next year. And this year, that word is pleasure. And that's going to be super hard for me because I struggle. I am very much like a perfectionist taskmaster with myself. I'm very hard on myself. And just sitting down and thinking about like what brings me pleasure, like what can I do that will bring me pleasure was really hard. So I know it's going to be a struggle, but I think I'm up to the task, and yeah, I'm just gonna go for it, and I will definitely update you guys and let you know how it's going. Let's see what else. Oh, my husband bought me this beautiful Bridget's Well pendant, and I love it, and it's the first time I'm wearing it, so that's kind of cool. I love getting new witchy jewelry, so that's fun. Um, Let me think what else. Oh, so I've been working with the Queen of Wands because fire is something that I struggle with having enough of in my life and bringing myself into balance with enough fire. And I decided that for the new year, I'm going to continue to meditate on the Queen of Wands and trying to bring that energy into my life. I am going to be working with fire a lot, and I also decided that I really want to dig into ancestor work this year. I really feel called to do more around that by my ancestors, so I'm definitely going to be taking a deep dive into that this year. And if any of you like work with ancestor work, I would love to see what you're doing. I would love to hear about like how you do that and how that works out for you, because it's something that I do. I just haven't taken a super deep dive into it like I plan to do this year. So I'd love to hear about it if you do it. Let me think. It is unseasonably warm here in Wisconsin. It's been in the 70s, and I know that a lot of people love it, but it feels off to me. So I think today is the last warm day, and I'm really looking forward to things cooling down, in part because I like boots and I want to put my boots on, but also just because, it just feels off from a seasonal perspective, and it just makes me kind of uneasy. So I'm looking forward to a little bit more cooler weather coming in. So let me think, is there anything else that I have to share? I don't think so, not right now. 2020 has been such a bummer. I mean, not just on a global scale, but on a personal scale. I fell down, sorry, got something stuck to my arm. I fell down the stairs back in June, and I broke my elbow, and I had all these injuries, and I couldn't do a lot of the things that I was even doing in the time of COVID to cope because I was really banged up and in a lot of pain. And the healing process for that was, not slow. It's a broken elbow. I got my fibro diagnosis this year. And so I've been like tweaking lots of different medication, trying to figure out what's going to work and what isn't going to work. And then I've just been having a tremendous amount of anxiety. Normally I have a little bit of anxiety, but this year has been terrible. And so I'm hoping that that's going to improve. I'm hoping, especially working with pleasure, that I will be able to take more time for myself, do more things that nurture me. Nurture as a word is a really big thing for me this year. I always focus on like self-love, but I feel like we've thrown around that term so much that it almost doesn't have any meaning anymore. And like, I think a lot of people just don't even know how to love themselves. Like they don't even know what that means. And for me, nurture is a little bit easier for me to wrap my head around. So I'm going to be focusing on nurturing myself this year. And so, yeah, that's what I have going on. I'd love to hear about what you have going on and how Samhain went for you. And what is the weather like where you are? Is it warm? Is it unseasonably warm everywhere? I mean, sorry, I haven't really been paying attention to to what the weather's doing in other places, but I'm looking forward to some cooler weather and some snow eventually. Hopefully next month for Christmas would be nice, or for solstice. I'm also just like really hoping that there's a point where we can go back to getting together, because I miss giving people hugs. I miss seeing their faces and sharing their energy. And I'm going to have this great house and this great ritual space, and I'd really love to be able to host some gatherings in my home and get back to having some more people around. That would be really, really nice. So let's all put our energy out to the universe that um, we can get a vaccine and figure out how to move past this COVID crisis, because I think that that would do some good for all of us. So I hope you have a great week, and I can't wait to hear how your sound went. So I will talk to you guys soon. I will try to make another video before I move on November 30th. So yeah, have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.